1973, I decided to come back home to Charleston and to raise my two boys. I never thought that I would be raising a command sergeant major in the U.S. Army and have a son that is a U.S. Senator. I would have never dreamed of it. When I left Michigan and came back to Charleston, South Carolina, my first job and the only job really is at St. Francis Hospital, and I started working there in 1973 as a nursing assistant. I worked at St. Francis Hospital a lot of times 16 hours a day. And I guess working 16 hours didn't bother me as much as it should have now that I stop and think about it, because I had a goal, and the goal was to make sure that my children were well taken care of.
I met Miss Scotty when I moved up to the anesthesia department at the hospital. She's in the department kind of next to mine, and she's just a bright, bubbly sunshine that wants to talk and hang out with everybody. Miss Scotty approached me one day at work and said that she really wanted to start a foundation to empower single moms, and she knew that I had had some struggles and that I was a single mom, and she said that she would appreciate it if I would consider coming to a little lunch. I told her I was all in.
I was able to meet Miss Scott at the first Mother's Day event that she had. I was actually invited by my former pastor's wife, and it was for single mothers, and honestly, I did not like the stigma behind it. I was newly a single mom, and it's just something hard to wrap your mind around. And when I walked in, I saw this friendly face, and I had no idea who Miss Scott was at that moment. And I walked over to the table where this lady was standing with a big smile, and she welcomed me, introduced herself, and I knew in that moment I was where I needed to be. Ever since then, she reached out with messages. She was able to keep in touch with me. I'd get little calls here and there, and I've been a part of her life ever since. Just one event has kind of changed everything for me.
One of my reasons for starting the Raising Up the Lowcountry is because I realized that single moms don't have any support. Because I can remember with me being a single mom, there was no support there for me. There was no one to come along and ask you how you're doing, or even to say that you're doing a very good job. There was nobody there.
No one can relate to being a single mom until you talk with single moms. Some of the conversations that I need to have, no one can relate to until you're talking with someone who's walking through your same shoes. So just the aspect of having someone who's been there, who's done it, who's at different stages, that's what I found has been helpful the most.
The foundation has grown tremendously since that one event. We do classes on, financial literacy, and we learn how to develop as a person. But you also have that emotional and support that you're always looking for as a single parent. Just because you're a single mom, it doesn't mean that you need to follow the stereotypical single mom path. Like, you have the ability to own your own house and have a nice car and live the quote-unquote dream that everybody wants. Yeah, you might need a little help from time to time, or you might need some support, or you might need somebody to go vent to. But at the end of the day, just because you're a single mom doesn't mean you can't do it.
Raising Up the Lowcountry is a family for those that do not have a family, and for those that do have a family, because we are a big support system trying to encourage and motivate young single moms. Even though it's hard, you can do this.